What's up, Musta? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Wow, look at ETH, just absolute Chad, just Chad energy. All right, guys. So we're gonna begin here. Take a look at BTC. We'll take a look at BTC, ETH, SOL, XRP, hype in that order. Then we'll look at indexes, and then just like I said, we're gonna go from where we were, where we're at, where we're going, and then move on from there. Maybe create a plan or two, but right now, just obviously chilling. So the monthly's looking like this on BTC, looking absolutely bananas. So we're gonna do a little bit of top down, go down to the weekly, see what's popping here. Obviously, I have my alert here at 110 for whatever reason. I'm just gonna take that out. Broke this previous range that we traded, obviously, from the end of last year to about July when we broke out, right? You see how we traded within the middle end of this level, chopped around. This was a big chop level for a couple months, about a month and a half, 2 months. And you can see why. So that's basically why, like, how I like to get my levels. It's real simple, man. Do not overcomplicate these type of things. These are levels that, let's say we were to get a flush out on BTC, and I mean 106K is a pretty extensive drawdown. If we were to ever get that on a flash drop, let's say we tag 125, 130, go down to 106, that's a crazy level to buy, but you already have that level drawn out previous from looking at the weekly and the monthly. You're already looking at levels of interest, levels that you would be interested in buying, right? You look down at weekly demand here at 95K, right? Just pointing out these levels just in case they were to ever tap, that you have it in the back of your mind. This is why this level is here. This is what it means. This is where I want to enter. This is where liquidity stands. This is where I wanted previous. This is where it's good now, right? If we were ever to get some crazy move down, let's say we go blow off down here and then get an extensive drop down to here, right? This is where you would want to unload the house, in my opinion. But is it going to happen? I don't know. But that's somewhere that you'd want to get familiarized with what this level even means, right? We did a very fucking fantastic job at absolutely murking this flip back up when it happened. And when I scroll back down to the lower time frame here in a second, you're going to see the previous range that we had just smashed as well. Obviously, on the 3-day, right above this 106 level, there's 3-day demand there with the break. That just means that people were piling up to get long for a breakout. That's where demand was. That's where it ensued. And that's where the pop happened to where we're at now, right? We almost tested that demand level. We flipped this level of support with this wick low. So again, I want you guys to get familiar with where price action was and where it traded to where we're trading to now. So this previous high was tested for flip back up higher. That was an aggressive bid for the range we were once trading in. So when I move back down to the daily here and we scroll down, we're going to see and do the same thing just like we did on the higher time frame, but take it down to the lower time frame, which is on the 1-day now. And I'd say the 1-day is, a little bit more of a higher time frame as well. But you can see here, these wick lows is the level we needed to reclaim for a push back up. What do? We reclaim that level. 112 was a big level for me to get long, but it was a scary one. It was a level that I was longing alts, right? Remember when we longed ETH at 3370? We longed hype alike. We longed certain things, XRP we were looking at. We were looking at that retest down there. It was a little difficult to long BTC in line with everything else, but needless to say, we got a good long on this higher low right down here for BTC. That's where we longed. I preached from the fucking moon, from Pluto, from fucking the next galaxy to buy that higher low. And that went in line with a Monday low sweep with a higher low, a big macro higher low. That is a fire play. I don't care who you are, where you're at. That has to be the most easy invalidation play you could have taken in confirmation and preparation for this move upwards. We are looking for a flip of the previous range, right? We are looking for flips. We rejected. We came back down. The only next logical solution is for there to be a higher low. If there isn't, then you would look for a deviation below and a divergence, etc., RSI flip back, reversal patterns, etc., whatever the case may be. But that's neither here or there. We got in on that higher low at around 113.1, had a beautiful invalidation for that move up, secured fully. I don't have the plays and toolbars on my screen right now. We don't need that. If you've been following on Discord, on Twitter, we've been killing it. If you've been following my YouTube as well, I break down all the plays there, so make sure that you look back onto my YouTube to look back at the shorts we've taken. I'd like to give little anecdotes, little pieces of what I was looking at, little things and insights into my trade for you guys to follow along on to the next. There's a lot of certain things that I look at with certain plays. One being liquidity. If we were to pop up here to take out liquidity to the upside, we're going to do what? Look for a reclaim of that previous range, which we eventually did. And the only reason why I opened up the replay was just to show you guys that that would have tuned into a Monday low flip, right? A Monday sweep to a low flip. There was two ways to enter that play. We entered in on the low end. And that's what I was looking at there. So on the 4 hour right now, I'm scrolling to see what we're looking at now, right? Because we've already exercised our play. We've already secured multiple times. We've shorted multiple times. And now we have these highs here at around 122.8. That's where I wanted to see retested on the first pop. But I took a short just because I was enticed to short that high. We front ran the sweep with a lower high. Sorry, guys, it took me a minute to get out. We front ran the sweep with a lower high today, secured beautifully on that short scalp. And that's how we've been playing things. Very tight stops, very good TPs, which is supposed to be good long entries. If we're getting good TPs on shorts, then just you're speaking about good long entries as well. People are willing to buy your longs where you're willing to sell your shorts. And that's what we've been doing. So right now I'm just going to kind of scroll down. I haven't really gotten a chance to look at the market too much today, again, so I do apologize about that. One level that I am looking for, obviously, is around this 117 level here. Show you why I'm looking at it. Originally, I wanted that 118.2. I wish I bid that 118.2 because it would have been a beautiful bid. Instead, I was looking a little bit lower at 117.8, literally slightly below that wick, which is a bit sickening, but it is what it is. I'm looking for a sweep of this level down here. It goes in turn with the Monday low. The longer we trade up here, the less likely I am to get that fill before we start to take out the highs. But remember, we're looking to take one side. We're targeting one side. And in my opinion, the only sides that you're targeting is this side or this side. There's two levels of liquidity. We're closer to one than the other. So we're more likely to hit the 122.5 than the 117 at this point. But, you know, that's what you got to set yourself up, especially if you're playing intraday. You're not in a low, you're not in a high. If you're in a high right now, then you're in the high with me, with your stops already risk-free. If you're in a low, then you're most likely in the low with Johnny, or you're in a low from 117s, or you caught the Monday mid-flip, which was nice, risky, but nice. And that's the only things I'm looking for right now. When it comes from a very lower time frame perspective, let's say like 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, and you're looking for the immediate push and you assume that 122.5 is going to get broken first, and that's your bias and opinion. I'm going very long on this BTC analysis, by the way, so I apologize if I'm boring a few guys, but I really want to make sure I get this finished before I even go to anything else. I'm sure you guys can appreciate that. So the 1 hour, we've already retested the hourly level of demand, which is where we secured our short. That was my TP. Remember how I said wherever you're looking to take your short TPs is a good level to long, because that's who you're selling your shorts to. You cannot sell your short if people aren't willing to long. That being said, BTC is a big is the major, so you're always going to be able to sell BTC into something. But that being said, people got long there where you were looking to sell your TPs. And that's already a contested level. So that's not a level I'm interested in buying again. If we were to go down deeper, we should not hold that demand. We should probably just either hold a higher low, right? Hold the structure here. Or, again, sweep, which is what I would really want. I really want a sweep. That being said, if we do get 118.5, just like I said yesterday, I think that would be a good level to sweep as well. We tested 118.9 when I wanted that 118.5 up here. Secured off our short again that we took yesterday. But that would be a good level where I would have my alerts set If price comes to, we see what happens, get confluence aligned, and get long. We really want to see BTC start to juice over also. So that's that for BTC. Does anybody have questions before I move on? We spent 10 minutes on that. I want to move on. I'm recording this, guys, so don't worry about that. It's going to be posted on my YouTube tonight, so don't worry. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I appreciate everyone for listening, stopping by. Apologies for me talking super fast. I only got 25 minutes left, guys. Eat chart chat, please. I got it. No problem. Any indicators that are worth it, like yours, bam. I'm glad you asked the question. So me, I use the Woodsbot indicator. I'm just fucking around. So the Woodsbot indicator, I love it. It's my indicator. That's why I love it. It's just jokes, guys. I use the RSI divergence, OBV divergence, Monday low, Monday high, and then I like support resistance, man. I like supply and demand. I like liquidity. I like heat maps. So that's really all I use. I don't use anything specific, anything crazy. You see right here, I have the Spaceman, but I have my own indicator, so I just use that. All the Woodsbot indicator is literally RSI, OBV, and then there's macro levels tuned in as well that I don't have right now. Maybe I'll just open it really quickly to show you guys. Okay, bam. All right, so this is like what it is really, right? So this is the hour. There's going to be a lot more levels. The 1 day, there's going to be a lot less levels. So this is the 1 day levels. The 126 levels, the level you're really looking to get. We're really looking for a closure above this level. The 114.7 is the next real level. Or that Monday low like I'm looking at. And then when you go on the 8 hour, the 4 hour, obviously more levels will print, right? So, yeah. This is my indicator. This is what I like. This is what I use. But really, guys, all you got to use, if you're following my strategy, RSI divergences, OBV divergences, not as much as the RSI divs. Monday sweep, Monday range, liquidity, heat maps, SFPs, right? That goes hand in hand with liquidity. But I'm going to stop shilling my indicator. That's not what we're here for. Bang, 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 bang. All right. What's that? What's that? Istanbul. I would love to be your guest in Istanbul, bro. One day. What's up, Jasmine? How you doing? 118.5. Good move. I'm not going to go over it anymore, guys. Let's go over ETH. 47.17 is fucking absurd. That's amazing to see. Holding a big spot bag of this bad boy. Obviously, I already talked about the plays we took on ETH. I don't have to talk about it again. We absolutely slaughtered this one. I'm not going to do the whole top down like I did with BTC. I think it was more important for us to look at BTC than ETH right now. ETH has no significant retest as of yet on this move up. We caught a phenomenal low at 33.70. We pumped up to 37.30 and swung down to 35.50. If you were not long with me, I have no idea what you were doing. There was no reason for no one to be long with me around this level. This range is the same range I was just pointing out for BTC, except on ETH. Bam, bam. There's no other entries. We deviated below. If you anticipated deviation, cool, you got long with me. If you did not, you got a good demand build up there on the 4 hour. Easy invalidation below that low. We flipped up, took profit, came back down, and what were we bidding? We were bidding the flip. That's it. Simple. And we're still in a range when we were doing that. So we're anticipating a break or a liquidity sweep of the highs. That's what we did. That's where we got. We TP'd fully. Am I mad? In hindsight, yeah, sure, I could have held that for generational wealth, but it is what it is. I'm spot long. I took my profit on a fantastic move up twice. I'm good with that. So that's a quick breakdown of the plays that we took there. How you kind of have to look at these consolidation ranges and anticipate liquidity being taken from one side. If we're trading over here after we came down here and we have highs left here, where is price going? Is it going here first or is it going here first? You have to make that assumption, and how so? That's what we did, guys. Beautiful. Another higher low, in tune with demand, good reclaim, good flip. There's a lot of confluence to get long around this level. Even after this, we had demand build up on the 4 hour there. We had a retest. You could have got long there with easy invalidation. But that's neither here or there. We're up here now. So now we have to focus on what's next. So let's look at the 1 day. Probably going to skip out on XRP, guys, to be honest. Probably just going to do SOL. Do SOL, maybe look at hype really quick, and then take a look at the indexes. So I hope you guys are good with that. Will you reshort the same entry by any chance? No, I will not. Period. I already took like majority of that position anyway. So we're right here for ETH. We're pushing into some significant highs, some significant wicks that I had highlighted for quite some time on the weekly. Not really much else I want to look at right there on the weekly. I'll draw this line at 40. Okay, bam. Beautiful. I'm glad I drew that line. Me and Johnny were just talking. He asked, where am I looking along? 43.80 is this line and this wick retest up here, right? We have supply on the weekly over here, right? So what I want to do really quick is I'm going to leave that line up and I want to draw this level of supply. When you're looking to draw levels on a chart, you might say like, oh, what level am I drawing? Where am I looking? You're looking at support, resistance, supply, and demand. That's all I'm doing. So figure out what these levels mean before you draw them. We were rejecting weekly supply so many times. Look at this. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Printed new lows. We retested 1,500 in 2025, and people have the nerve to tell me if they should buy Ethereum right now. Blasphemy. Fucking crazy. Period. I have nothing else to say about that. But this was supply. We broke supply. Broke straight through it. Okay? We have 4 days, 8 hours left until the weekly closes. That being said, I'm going to scroll down to the lower time frame and show you how price reacts around this level so that you can play it, right? Not all the time do these weekly supply levels get flipped and broken either, right? So we trade in the middle, consolidated before punching up to the top. We're holding the top end of supply. If we were to retest a level, I really like the 43.20 level. That's 4-hour demand in line with that weekly high that I just pointed out for you guys. This is what I like. This is going to test the middle end of that weekly supply. This is going to test that wick high that I just pointed out. It'll be a very aggressive sort of deviation play. People might get a little bit bearish over there. That being said, when I do look at the 4-hour a little bit more, I really like this 40.80 level as well. I really like that. You can anticipate that getting a possible retest if we were to get a significant lick run. I think that would go in line with like 114s on BTC. You really want to tie in where you think BTC is going and where you think alts are going. That's really what you want to do right now. That's what I'm doing. Hold on 1 second. I think someone just came into my house. All right. Bam. So that's it for Ethereum, guys, really. Intraday, I wouldn't really be looking at short or long. We could easily pass through those highs that I just pointed out. And I don't want to do that. ETH has been significantly stronger. You see right there, we shorted BTC on the 4-hour. We got a decent pullback. If you were to short ETH on the 4-hour, like, you're not really getting much. Like, look at what you're getting. You're just shorting into good long levels. You're shorting into demand. And the 4-hour is, like, it keeps holding this level. And because it keeps holding this level, I think it's going to go to 4,800 before it goes down. Which you could get a good little intraday play. Like, if you're looking for a real aggressive play, you're at your computer right now. This is not a bad long to take, right? You look for that, take a long, 1.8% risk for a 2.5, let's say 3% gain. I don't want to say 3%. I'd say like 2.2, right? You're looking for licks now here. Like, there's licks that are going to be getting taken out here one way. And how aggressive is it going to be? I don't know. This is already pretty aggressive in my opinion, and 4,800 is a good psychological resistance. That being said, this level we're at right now is a good level of resistance as well, but I don't see it on the 4-hour. Hourly as well, I don't see it yet. 30-minute, like, you might get some divergences. Yeah, we have some divs. We held the 50 like perfectly, so in my opinion, like, probably good for a push up higher towards 48s, right? But that's really the only type of intraday play you could take right here, unless you think a sweep first. But that already happened. Like, that hourly candle right there should be the deviator's dream. We've already deviated this level of resistance that I have. If we go down, I wouldn't go for the sweep there again. I would just start to look for like these little hourly clips. These are levels of demand that you're much worth bidding rather than this sweep now. But that's all intraday stuff, guys. Remember, there's macro plays, there's intraday plays, and I'm showing you guys both of them. So that's it for you guys. Do we have any other questions on ETH? I don't want to harp too much longer about it. I could keep talking. I keep rambling all day and night, every day, all day. I keep doing it, literally. And I'm not on Adderall. I don't take Adderall. I am on coffee. which sucks. All right, perfect. Bam. Let's go to the next. SOL. I got 15 minutes, guys. 15 minutes. So I apologize. I wanted. This one sucks so bad. So, gonna show you guys on the weekly. I like to keep this chart clean, straight to the point. We long this red box when it came to. I will delete that. No reason to look at it anymore. I'm just gonna kind of delete everything here. This is what I wanted, guys. Like, look at that black line on the 4 hour. Say 8 hour actually. Was it 8 hour daily? There was a 1 day level of demand here. I didn't know how aggressively it was gonna get retested, or if it was going to get retested at all. And you see, obviously, we didn't get retested on Sol, which sucked. I wanted 172. We went to 174. If you paid attention to Woodsbot, I pointed it out in my corner. It wanted 174. I wanted slightly lower at 172. Woodsbot got long. I didn't. Sucks. But that's just the nature of the beast. You see right here, we basically just like swept some good wicks right above demand and held aggressively. There's no real rhyme or reason to that. You could have timed that in with CPI being bullish, BTC holding a good level. We got our fills on hype at that point, just not on SOL and ETH. That's the nature of the beast, and got an absolutely beautiful candle to the upside. The 4 hour candle here doesn't look to be finished cooking. I'd say maybe if we get a retest at around like 194, get that sweep for a pushback up. Take out these highs at 206. Maybe that's the next immediate move for SOL. But remember, you're looking for the next immediate moves. If you're trading leverage, you're looking for liquidity. And that's important. Pocket streams all day. Rigo streams all day. JD's been streaming a lot. DB streams every day. Everybody's giving you guys these streams for insight on their charts. One thing that you guys have to do is distinguish what place to take, where to take them, and when to take them. If you're not doing that, you're doing yourself a giant disservice. It's okay to not be in intraday plays. Figure out macro plans. And this is what we're doing, guys. So for SOL, if we get that sweep for a pushback up to the side, you can do that. We did not take out the high yet. That would be the immediate intraday play to take. If you are taking a short, 202.05 is a resistance. So you can get a good invalidation play as close to 200 as you can for a short, if that's what you think. We have the 1 day open right there. I could see that holding for a push upwards as well. But this is where we're at, guys. We got Ethereum looking to push for the highs. We got SOL looking to push for highs. We got BTC looking to push for highs. But which highs are going to be taken, and how? Let me word that again. Are the highs going to be taken first, or are their lows going to be taken first? And if these lows are to be taken first, which lows are going to hold for higher? That's what I like to think in these areas, especially if I'm flat, I took profit, I'm looking for my next moves. And for SOL, I like slightly below the daily open. I like these previous highs. I like this flip if we were to get long around 186.6. That would be my level. That would go in line with ETH at around 43.80 in my opinion. Maybe a little bit aggressive. Again, we have yet to see a pullback on alts and CPI. So it's important to gauge the next actual level of resistance for BTC. That's why I went so long onto explaining BTC, because all these alts are at the mercy on what BTC wants to do. That being said, ETH is stronger than BTC here. What I really want to see is BTC to take over and to take majority of strength. Alts sit back, and then we'll go higher. That's what I want to see happen. But we're seeing ETH push for 4,700, so you can't really, can't really ask for much here. Woods, are your trades cross or isolated? Cross, but that doesn't matter. Does not matter. Do not worry too much about cross or isolated. Just realize that if you're using isolated, you got to make sure that you're using a significant. You got to make sure you're using certain leverage in order to fit my stop losses. Sometimes I use 1%, sometimes I use 5%. If you're using 20x leverage, if you're using 50x leverage on a 3% move, you're going to get liquidated. If you're using it on a 2% move, you're damn near going to get liquidated. So you got to make sure you're doing that right. I'm sorry, I can't look at SUI or XRP probably. Actually, I could do that real quick. Fuck it. XRP, again, XRP is another one, just like SOL, where we slightly missed our bids. These 4-hour levels of demand, and Rigo's here, he can attest for it. I learned it all from him. These levels are levels that if we do flush, I'm telling you guys, if we do flush, you're going to look at these levels and saying, damn, I should have left my bids up. Just leave your bids up. Of course, I see you, brother. You're my boy. If we get these levels, these are the levels you want bid. Like, I am leaving bids up for XRP at 308 to 304, 303. That's just an easy level to bid. It's like, it might not happen, but if it happens, you'll look back in hindsight and say, damn, Rigo told me how to fucking snipe 4 hours demand zones and I'm not even fucking doing it, right? That's where you're looking to bid for flushes. Where I'm looking to bid intraday is like, you know, you want structure to hold. We see good levels of hourly demand here. This tunes in with aggressive sweep takes each way. If we get 186 on Sol, I think XRP is going to get like 318. That would be a good level to bid. This is going to be a deviation of the intraday range that we're trading in and a flip back up. This is a good invalidation, a good RR play, I should say, right? Because you could put your entry, invalidation, TP, right? And then you got more TPs because most likely we'll go for a break and then momentum will take you to the upside. So that's how I like to look at things. That's how I'm going to break down XRP. I can't look at much more, guys. I hope that helps with XRP because I cannot do top down on everything. And I do apologize for for the quick sort of stream here I'm doing. But I know you guys appreciate it. For hype, played absolutely beautifully. There's nothing more to say. We bid 1434, like 4234, like fucking champions, and we're still. We closed that position today. I'm sorry. We closed it literally at the top. So, bam, we sniped hype. Absolutely fucking sniped hype. But we didn't get fills on Sol, ETH, XRP, BTC. We didn't get our fills on anything when we got the hype confluence. Hype rejects a little bit more so than other alts do and majors do. So that's why I bid hype the way I did. I just thought maybe we would get a little bit lower. But that's neither here or there. We targeted this high, took full profit, and moved on with our lives. There's not much to look at for hype other than we're close to price discovery. Bam. So we're close to price discovery. The monthly looks insane. The weekly looks insane. The higher lows are tightening. Price discovery is commencing. How are we going to get there? Are we going to get there off this 3-day low? Because if that's the case, you could get the invalidation below our entry. That being said, I tried to enter along yesterday with you guys on hype. We caught a 1%, a little bit more. Then we got stop break even before it swept where my stop loss would have been, and I was sleeping. And then we continued back upwards. That would have been the good entry, the good re-entry, I should say, which was around 40. Where was that yesterday's entry? 44.50 was it? 44.20. Wow, that was a really good re-entry. Damn, man. Fuck, man. That was such a good re-entry yesterday. So 44.20, we entered right here. Right here. There it was. I remember. So we dropped down, printed that low, and I entered in right here with my stop loss right down here. We pumped. Oh, I see where it was. It was right here. So we entered right here with our invalidation right here. We got that move. Came back down, swept this low, which would have been our invalidation anyway, because I was keeping it very tight. But you see right here, it would have played out beautifully for a nice re-entry. And you got a nice pop. So obviously I could have re-entered there, but I was sleeping. It is what it is. And we caught this anyway, move stops up. And I'm trying my best to find the right entries, especially when you're playing on leverage. I posted a tweet the other day. I think this is a good tweet to reread here. Just find it. Yes, I do have the next 100x. Keep notifications on. What did I say? I think this is a good tweet for you guys to look back at. Especially if you're trading on leverage right here. Let me see.
I'm too much to see the camera. I can't think straight without my money. Come take it off and show me what it's like. Let me see. I'm in the game. Why should I join with it 623? Don't matter because we disagree. Don't mean you I believe. I bust it down. She rocking. Yeah. I know what I'm trying to show you. I told them I just want to go. Hard my nonsense.
Price is gonna go somewhere. How's it gonna get there? Oh, I remember what I was trying to show you guys. On leverage, people are gonna be trying to ape in leverage, longs or shorts here. This is where people get chopped up to bits. This is where you gotta choose your spots though. There's a lot of money to be made, especially when there's liquidity flowing into the market. Funding rates, I believe, too, aren't high. I think they're flat, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, flat. On BTC. I just looked at the Bible one as well. So people are going to get chopped up in either direction. And whenever these sweeps come, you want to be prepared for them. And you got to pick your spot on leverage, especially here. We've already played our spots at the lows, at 3,000, at 3,300, at 3,800, at 3,500. That's already gone. We're moving on to the next. There's new price action every single day, and that's what you got to get accustomed with, especially if you're playing on leverage. Especially if you're playing on leverage. Repeat after me. Especially if you're playing on leverage. Don't get fucked over. Because people make money from you losing. That's how we profit, right? Who do you think profits when we win our plays? Or who do you think loses, right? The other position. So for hype, what I like to think is I was in from 42.34. Do I think I would be safe to hold a swing there? I do, but I wanted to secure profit as well. This was a good reclaim entry. Remember we were talking about that reclaim entry earlier? That would have been good this morning. Again, I was asleep. That would have been a very good trigger. But where would I go now? We tried retesting the one-day open in line with our short on BTC. We didn't quite get there. Do I think it would be a good bid to get? Sure, but I think we should start pushing for the highs here soon. 4 hour looks pretty good. We have 3 hours left to close the 4 hour. That's what I like to see when I'm looking for sweeps and such. Because the 4 hours, 3 hours left to close, I'm going to just assume that we have 3 hours left to retest the daily open. If in that 3 hours we test that daily open, nothing crazy, nothing super aggressive. Let's say in an hour and a half we get a retest of the one-day open and we hold it. That's a good play for me to take, in my opinion, with an invalidation below 43.60. I wouldn't keep it below that wick low. I would keep it below 43.60 because I would just assume that this would be a good level to bid, and we should be holding there pretty soon. Get a lower time flip back above the current levels we're trying to hold right now, which you can see right here as well. We got some good wick lows around here as well. So we got the wick lows there all the way to here. So we're looking to reclaim this level and hold, which we are on the 4 hour. If we do get this retest in the next 3 hours, I would look to get long. I'm not placing limits for it, but I would look to get long around there. And that's my only opinion for hype. If I'm looking for like an aggressive, or I'm sorry, if I'm looking for like nuke bids, like $40 is psychological. But I don't know about that. I think where we wanted previous, where we got our Schneid previous at 42.34 is where you're looking to bid again. Specifically for hype, I am pretty bullish on hype as well. I think it's one of the coins that are going to 2x in price pretty rapidly once we break out of this consolidation. This level of demand down by 41, down to 40.80, 40.60-ish level is a good level to bid as well. So just keep your eyes open for what could happen and what's possible. I know a lot of people want to see Link. I wanted to look at some indexes really quick. BTCD, guys, at a very, very, very big point right here, guys. Everyone's calling top on BTCD. When everybody thinks they're right about something, I don't know. We want to see BTC take steam soon. We don't want this to be the top for BTCD, in my opinion. If it is, whatever alt moves are going to happen is it. I don't want to see that happen. I want to see BTCD hold this trend, which this is a higher time frame trend. We're on the weekly. We have 4 days and 8 hours to close. We can most certainly, like I said, we can go to 4,800. Then that would mean that we're going to start to see BTCD lose this trend. We can easily do that and still hold on the weekly. So don't get trapped in alts right here. Wait for confirmation. Don't get trapped. Secure profit, we get to 4,800, 4,900, 4,940. As we reach 5,000, that's psychological support, resistance. Make sure that you're tying in some levels for BTC to bounce off of. Because if we start to break down BTCD and go to 48.14, also going to get another pop-up. We're going to see E start to go for 5,000, maybe a little bit more. This would be a level of deviation. and then potential for BTC to start taking over and go back to all-time high, and then we'll be able to reevaluate a potential lower high confirmation or a reclaim for a pushback up towards 68. Is that going to happen like that? We haven't seen volatility like that on BTD and like this for quite some time. So I'm being extra cautious with the way I say things and what I'm predicting. But again, this is a prediction. This is my view of the market. This is no one else's. So don't, this isn't guaranteed. This is just my view. Wow, bro, I'm a fucking savage, bro. Look how perfect we fucking, look at that shit, bro. Oh, baby. That was perfect. We pretty much smacked total too. Anything alt-wise here was, no way, Jasmine. What'd you do for me to block you? I probably have 10 people that I've blocked on Twitter. And you have to be one of them. That's fucking hilarious. Man, you're so sweet. That's crazy. How do you even block people? Nah, I just fuck with you. Let me get you unblocked. How do you unblock people? That's a good question. Damn, that's fucked up. I can't believe that. I'm gonna unblock you. So for total 2, we did this beautifully. I like this 4-hour demand around 1.43 trillion. That is such an aggressive move down though from where we're at right now, especially with also doing what it does. If we do what I think we're gonna do with BTCD, which again, I don't know exactly which one I think is gonna happen. We're at trend right now. For us to reject right at resistance, I don't really see that happening right away. I see us maybe going out for the deviation at 48.14. That would be fire. If we get that, we're going to get a pop back up on total 2 as long as, alts keep doing what they do. And then that would go in line with my deviation play on BTCD. This would be a good level to buy back alts with conviction. This would go in line with my deviation, sort of lower high rejection on BTCD. That's really all I have for now when it comes to indexes. I don't want to overcomplicate the situation at hand. We have yet to see a pullback on anything when it comes to alts, ETH, right? So we want to see what happens. ETH BTC, right? ETH BTC is approaching resistance. So in line with the deviation on BTCD, if we were to go down for BTCD, create that deviation that I'm talking about, ETH BTC is going to come up towards resistance, maybe reject off of it a little bit before we get that 4-hour demand retest, before the continuation back upwards. Can life be that easy? Can we actually do it the right way? If that happens, this is a max buy for ETH. Make sure you keep your eyes on ETH BTC. I don't care where BTC is at the time. I don't care where ETH is at the time. If ETH goes to this 4-hour demand level, you buy it. We are looking to reclaim some big levels of resistance, but we haven't even tapped them yet. So just be cautious. Make sure you're keeping your eyes onto everything. Make sure you're doing that. It's very, very important. I think that's a good stream, guys. I got to end there. I squeezed everything in how I was supposed to, how I plan to do so. If you guys have any questions for me, feel free to tag me. I got to do a lot of things now for the next couple hours. So I really do appreciate you guys. I'm going to make sure the stream is posted onto my YouTube. I really hope I was recording that. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. See you guys in the next. Peace. Not you guys. I just shut down the recording there. So I recorded that for you guys. Jasmine, what's your Twitter so I can get you unblocked right now? I'm going to post some limits later on. But for now, I got to get off, guys. Have a good weekend. Peace. Let's fucking keep making that bread and keep stacking that paper, compounding those gains. Don't get fucked up trading leverage, guys. We'll pick our spots. I got you, Jasmine. I'm going to unblock you now. Peace.